Welcome to another stock analysis video performed by msft.com, where active traders seek greater profits. Let's begin. Hi everybody, welcome to another weekly video analysis by msft.com. This is Ron Lang. We are looking at the S&P 500 chart, and we really didn't change much on this other than the date. Why? Because the trend is intact. And since this December pivot turn, we basically had a rally base, rally base, rally base, this stair-step formation. We are now basing again, and depending on what kind of news comes out over the next week between economically and with Europe, well, we can reach this level here, 1371 to 1374, which is the May high of last year, 2011. And I think if we breach that with some volume, we could get to 1400 very, very quickly. So we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, we've been expecting a 3 to 5% pullback here for a couple of weeks now. But right now, despite the fact that there's not a lot of huge movement in the market, there's enough of enough price action there to say that the buyers are not giving up their shares, and they're waiting for the retail investor to get in. I think if we make new highs, that retail investor will come in, and that will force the markets to go much higher to the 1400 level very, very quickly. So we'll have to see what kind of price action we get over the next week. Okay, let's move on to market leaders. First, we're going to start off with ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil had a pretty nice week here, and we're looking for it to break 88, and if it breaks 88 here, we think it could hit 90 pretty quickly. Apple had a pullback. Looks like several of the fund managers took profits here on this parabolic move. As soon as it got down to a reasonable level, looks like they got back in, really pushing this stock back up. It's up about another $30, $35 from that pullback. We think that goes higher. Why not? Basically, the way it looks at this point is that the buyers are not going to give up their shares. Same with IBM. IBM broke out of this base here at an all-time high, and it looks like it's poised to go higher over $200. Microsoft hit a 52-week high. It's starting to base a little bit here in the top end of the supply resistance area. Looking for it to break out of the 3150 range up to 3250 in the next month if the market progresses to move higher. Okay, looking at Walmart. Walmart had a pullback on pretty poor earnings, and one of the things that we see here is it's actually sitting at a very nice support demand area here. We think it goes higher and could probably pop $1 or $2 over the next week if the market cooperates. Looking at Chevron. Chevron looks like it's poised to go higher. We really need to see what's going to happen here in the market, also with the price of oil. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pullback here before we shoot through that $110 level. Google's had some interesting price action here over the last couple of weeks that we've covered. And one of the interesting things with Google is it's starting to base here. So it's trying to figure out where do we want to go. First, it needs to fill this gap from when earnings completely broke down. But one of the things that we might want to look for here is a pullback and then a shoot up. So we'll have to see what happens here from this pivot low. Looking at Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble had a terrific 3 weeks, as you can see here. And it looks like it's poised to go higher. We have a doji here, which is indecision, right into this resistance supply area here. We might get a pullback after this sharp run up here before we go up to the $67, $68 level. There's a lot to try and get through here, so we'll have to see what kind of additional action. I mean, you can see we've just had, almost double than average daily volume. If we can get a couple more follow-through days, we could hit 68. Looking at AT&T, as you can see, it hit the target that we set up. We now basically have a triple top at the 3050 level. We now need to try and break through this, and we want to see some better than average volume. Not crazy about the volume that we saw there this week. So we'll have to see if we can break through that 3050 level. We break through that 3050 level, we could be going up another $1, $1.50 here. Remember, AT&T still pays a pretty good dividend on a quarterly basis. Looking at GE, just as a quick side note, GE had some pretty big option action this week, specifically on the call side. A lot of them were looking for a $20 price target. Right now, it's basing. It's very tight in this range area here between 1950 and 1860. So if we break out of this 1950 level, we could break out another dollar to that 2050 level. We'll have to see what kind of price action and volume that we get here over the next week. Coke actually finally broke out and has picked a direction. It's got this nice trend up. We think it could hit 70 or 70.50 over the next couple of weeks if the market cooperates. McDonald's doesn't want to go anywhere, folks. And one of the nice things that we're seeing here is some recognizable patterns. Notice the pullback here before the jump, pullback before the jump up, pullback before it came up a little bit. Now it's basing. So what we want to see here is we want to see it jump out of this 101.50, 102 area here before it hits our target at 105. We don't see it really going below $98. We think that that's where some significant demand and support is. If it gets to 98, you might want to get in there. It could be good for a $2 to $3 pop, especially if we break out of that S&P 1371, 1374 area. Caterpillar hit our target here at 116. We think it goes higher to the 122, 123 level. Home Depot has been just chugging along here, folks. Seems like that this is just on a train that's just not stopping. We had picked the target here at around 49.60. We still think it gets up to that level here over the next 2 to 3 weeks. You could just see that this trend is on track. We're averaging some nice daily up volume here. We think it continues. Looking at the transportations that struggled a little bit, one of the things that we see here is we did expect a pullback to this 5150, 5200 level. We actually pulled back a little bit below that. I think what we'd like to see here is if when it comes out of this area higher, how does it come out? On what volume? What type of price action? Are we making higher highs and higher lows? So to be seen, but if we get that kind of price action, I think we could look to see the market truly accelerate here over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for attending another MajesticTrader.com's stock chart analysis. Visit our website to request one of our newsletters. Go to our website at www.majestictrader.com. In the upper right-hand corner, put in your email address and your name, and we'll send you out a copy. Once you become a member, you'll have access to complete trade performance, all stock analysis videos, archived newsletters, and midweek alerts that are trading ideas. We'll send those out to you via email. Again, thank you for attending.